Only on Fox tonight, the man accused of killing these two women, Kyndall and Ariel Beeks, will remain in jail. A judge decided not to grant bond nearly 2 years after their shooting deaths in Greenwood. Cassius Broadwater is charged with 2 counts of murder, and Greenwood police arrested him after finding the mother of his child and her friend dead inside of a parked car. Investigators say they were having an argument with Broadwater before the shooting. In court today, we heard from the mother of Kyndall.
Any type of bond should be denied for the simple heinous situation, the horrendous trouble that it has caused, the hurt that we've all endured, and the potential for any possible harm to come to any other person. I definitely do not agree with any bond to be set at this point.
Well, the judge said if there is not a trial set by August, then he will grant bond.